All right, Keith, there seems to be a little bit more assessing of Sean Dyche's future over the weekend from Everton's new owners. Is a change likely coming soon?
Well, you're right. We've got to be careful what we say here because it seems to have been a lot of fan talk after the last result. Uh, and so, often these things on social media don't actually align with what's really happening. Look, the Friedkins are new into the whole situation. I know that they're aware of the whole problems that facing the club right now, but let's not get carried away. There's a lot of rumours going around just now, so I think we've got to try and stay focused on what the reality is, and that'll come from the Friedkins, I'm sure, in due course.
And Neil Maupay posted a pretty controversial comment after Everton's defeat against Nottingham Forest. Do you think they'll take any disciplinary action against him?
No, I don't think they will. I mean, potentially they could have done, but I think it's best to just ignore it. I think looking back on it now, it's been a few weeks since he did it. I think it's really damaged him more than the club in any way. He certainly was not held in high regard by the fans, as is obvious from that, and it's certainly hasn't helped him again. But I would think that future clubs would look at this sort of behaviour, and it may be a black mark against him, and so he's going to have to live with that now going forward. He's managing to score a couple of goals in France, but nothing special. He hasn't set the whole place on fire. But I think there's no need for that sort of behaviour, and I think it's disappointing. But obviously, it's more an indication of his character and his personality. And as I say, that's what other future clubs will have to look at.
And does that actually hurt Everton in their ability to potentially sell him at the end of this loan deal?
Well, as I say, I mean, it could mean that some clubs are going to take a second look at his personality, but Everton are not going to make a big deal about it, but it'll be up to others to make a decision. Some people may see it as a fighting spirit in some ways, so we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think it's helped anybody, and I think we just have to gloss over it.
And Everton are to hold 3 test events at the new stadium to obtain the safety certificates. Is this likely just a formality?
Yeah, it really is a formality. I was involved in a major project called the Hydro in Glasgow, which is now one of the biggest concert arenas in the world and probably one of the most profitable. And I was there through the whole building of that and saw the test events happening. It is a case of working out, all the fire sort of alarms and all the safety sort of exits, etc., and all that sort of thing. We had there's a Co-op Live arena in Manchester which had a disastrous opening because they had not done test events properly. And the good thing is, I mean, at one stage we were looking at this stadium possibly being open very soon this year. But now we've got the luxury of having to go through times until August for the start of the season. And so I expect the thing to be absolutely working superbly by the time that happens in August. We've got the luxury of time, and so I think it's good we use that, get it right, and so that when it does get ready for prime time, it will be really ready.
And with the new stadium, obviously we talk about the naming rights deal almost every week. It seems like JP Morgan potentially has jumped in as a potential new name after becoming Friedkin's lender on the Everton project. Does that give them a good leg up on the chance to be the new stadium name partner?
I don't think that they will really compare the amount of money they're making off the one loan deal with Friedkin on this deal and compare it to what it would be part of a naming rights deal. What is interesting is that I understand JP Morgan have taken the naming rights on the Inter Miami Stadium. That did surprise me. But they're obviously more active. They've got a new sports investment unit going since the summer, and they're obviously very active in this market, and so they've decided that some sort of public profile is needed. Inter Miami's probably got a lot more going on financially for them in terms of bigger deals in the States. But it would be interesting if they chose to also make a statement in Europe. I personally don't think they're going to get up to the levels that Everton would be looking for. I still think airlines and potentially, the other names we'd be mentioning like Toyota, etc., have still got a chance for a bigger budget and may be able to monetize the benefits from a naming rights deal better. I think JP Morgan, obviously it's branding and name recognition, so it's very hard for them to activate that. And also, with most of their business being done in London, getting clients up to the stadium, etc., and Liverpool may be a little bit tougher for them, which is why there's always been a London premium for naming rights for stadiums there. So I think it's more a connection that the name's been mentioned with the club recently, but I don't really see it translating into a naming rights deal.